news and talk depend on it.
This is a WHIO payroll payout alert.
Thank you.
$1,000 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
All right, it's time.
Can we get the show on the road?
I've been waiting for it all day.
And not a moment too soon.
Listen to talk radio.
This guy, Todd.
Monday through Friday.
5 to 7.
He's weird.
Best thing on the radio. It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I'm William Shatner. I've done a lot of things in my career, but this takes the cake. This is so cool. You, Todd, today, it's all about you. This is phenomenal. You made parole.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream up and rolling on Facebook and YouTube. Tonight on the show, I got a question. Did you ever party with your teachers? Or maybe a principal or somebody from the school, a janitor? You go to a party and suddenly there's Mrs. Smith or Mr. Jackson. There's a crazy story out of Florida. And this principal and teacher, they were having a party, and there were about 100 kids there. And they were drinking. These were students. But it was called a white lie party. And I've never heard of that. We didn't have white lie parties when I was a kid. We just called them parties. But I don't know if it's like a TikTok thing or what. Bryn, my producer, she's nodding. She knows exactly what I'm talking about because she's part of the TikTok generation, I guess. Right? Yeah. We'll hop on. I want to know. I want to know because I keep seeing stories about teachers throwing parties and there's drinking and there's students. And I'm just trying to figure out, what are they thinking? I mean, kids will have parties and drink. Teachers will have parties and drink. But the two should never meet. And I don't remember ever teachers having parties like that when I was a kid. Now, tell me, Bryn, what is a white lie party?
So a white lie party is where everyone is supposed to wear white, like a t-shirt or something. And then they write on the t-shirt a white lie, like something that isn't true. So like it could be, I am really short when the person is tall. So it's like.
So what is that supposed to be, like a conversation starter? Or is it just something stupid to do?
I think it's just something stupid to do, honestly.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. But we'll get into more of that. And maybe you were at a party with your teachers. I do remember, and this is kind of as an aside, I do remember seeing some of my teacher or my child's teachers out at a bar partying it up pretty good. And that was the first time I'd ever seen that. It's like, and when you're a kid, you might remember this. If you ever saw one of your teachers outside of school or outside of the classroom, it was jarring because it's just so out of context. You see the teacher at the grocery store or just randomly. But that was a little jarring for me, seeing my kid's kindergarten teacher at a bar, knocking back the shots. But I get it. It's like, it's no big deal. Who cares? But it's kind of weird. But maybe have you been to a white lie party? Have you done that before?
No, I don't go to parties usually.
Really? Not at all? You didn't go to parties when you were in high school or anything like that?
Not really. I've gotten kind of into it since my boyfriend and I have started dating.
Oh, so now you're partying.
I mean, not really.
Not really?
Sometimes.
Yeah. I remember going to a few high school parties that were kind of off the hook, and it was always because somebody's parents were out of town. It wasn't the parents throwing the party or in this case, teachers and principals in Florida. Well, I'll just go to the story. I was going to do the story later, but now I feel like we've gone down so far this path. I should just do it. And I don't know where it went now. What is oh, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Oh, here we go. All right. Let me put my yeah, there we go. Figured why not? Let's just jump right to it. So Florida woman, and she's a principal at a elementary school and a teacher at an elementary school. They decided to have a party, and all these kids show up, and there's even kids from other school districts, because that's what happens. I mean, anymore in this world, something goes viral like that, and suddenly everybody knows, right? Everybody knows what's going on. So the teachers or the teacher and the principal, they're throwing this party. Well, one of the students gets really, really drunk, and they have a medical issue out on the front lawn. So somebody calls the medics, right? So the medics get there, and they're administering aid to this child who is drunk. The principal, whose house this was being held at, the party was being held at, turns off the front lights of the house to sort of hinder the EMS workers. Because I think at that point she probably knew totally busted. It's totally busted. And then as the cops are there investigating, and the EMS is there, and they're, questioning people and students that are there, and they get a swatting call. Now, I'm sure most people probably know what swatting is. It's a hoax. And the deal is that, oh my gosh, there's a gunman and you got to come and blah, 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 blah. Apparently that was the teacher who called in the hoax in hopes that it would divert the police who were at the house busting up this teenage party. So now both of the teachers have been arrested, and they're facing multiple charges, which would make sense. But I don't understand what would pass through a teacher's mind to do something like that. And then a principal of elementary schools. It's things are upside down. Everything is upside down. I just don't get that. I mean, I remember hearing stories of teachers, who were partiers, but I just never ever went to a party where there was a teacher there. I remember seeing a couple of my former teachers after I'd been out of high school, just, long enough to be able to go to a bar, 3 or 4 years. Hanging out at Elsa's down in Centerville. And, I'm sure they've been going there for years. Not a big deal. But this idea of having, kids over to your house for a party and over 100 students. I mean, I wouldn't think that it was okay. Don't misunderstand. But I could see a bad teacher having a few kids over. We had a story like this in Kentucky, maybe a couple of months ago, where a high school principal was at a party with alcohol and students. And I don't recall how many there were, but there weren't 100. And then after they get busted, after the it's discovered, because the EMS is there and the police are there, they double down and they try to make it difficult on the police and the EMS workers. They take it to the next level and call in a hoax, a swatting hoax. Oh, man, I don't get it. 937-457-1290. Tim in Dayton. What's going on, Tim? Hello, Tim.
I'm running into a teacher at a bar. So
Yeah.
I used to be a bouncer, and once a month they would hold a swingers night.
A swingers night?
A swingers night where swingers would come in, meet each other, and leave.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a teacher there for that.
Oh, yeah. I was checking the bar, checking IDs, and walked my old principal.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That was a shock.
Yeah, that would be jarring. That's a little more jarring than seeing like your teacher at the grocery store and it all being out of context. You know what I'm saying? Did you hear what I was saying about that? It's like when you were a kid, you see your teacher and you're like, wait a second, she has a life outside of school? That's weird. But in this case, I mean, you were an adult, so it wasn't like you were a kid seeing that. But I can you understand what I'm so perplexed why teachers would ever think that would be okay. And even if you thought it was okay or that you could get away with it, 100 students?
Well, it's not even that. It's 2025. Everybody has cell phones. It ain't the 70s anymore where you can get away with it and it's just a rumor.
Yes. And that's what happened to the teacher in Kentucky. There were videos going around where apparently he was holding up students doing keg stands.
Awesome.
And it's like, what? I just don't get it. I get it. I can understand maybe parents, I've heard this before and it's never a good idea, but there are parents that are out there that are going to have a party. Their kid wants to have a party and they think they're being the cool parent and they're going to have alcohol there, but they're going to make sure that the kids aren't driving and that nobody drinks too much. That's a horrible, horrible idea, but I could see that.
Yeah.
But not two educators and a principal to boot.
Oh, especially people having kids over from other cities. That's not.
Yeah, I mean, you're just asking for all kinds of problems. I just don't get it. But Tim, thanks for your call, buddy. I appreciate it. Have a good one. That line's open, 937-457-1290. Today is National Bubble Wrap Day.
Now a public service announcement from the Alliance of American Bubble Wrap Manufacturers.
Today is National Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day, and the Alliance of Bubble Wrap Manufacturers would like to take this opportunity to talk about bubble wrap safety. 1. Encasing your head in bubble wrap will not save you from being concussed. Bubble wrap is not a substitute for protective equipment while participating in dangerous activities or in lieu of a child's car seat. 2. Bubble wrap is both recyclable and cleaner to use than styrofoam. 3. When preparing for shipping, ensure item is wrapped tightly to avoid shifting during transit or a prolonged suffocation. And 4. While it may seem to you like an effective means of stress relief, it may not be for others. Please be considerate when popping bubble wrap in public. And remember, there's no shame in popping in private.
This has been a public service announcement from the Alliance of American Bubble Wrap Manufacturers, cradling your package since 1964.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
T-O.
Double D.
H.
Oh.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
All right. How's everybody doing? Well, thank you, Joel. I just like to freshen it up, I get tired of seeing the same old crap on my screen. Because I've got right here on my computer, to my right here, is is how I I see all the comments, but I also see the screen, the picture. So I'm looking at myself, but I see that logo, and it's just like, oh, I had to fix that. Huh. See the new frames design. Well, it actually is, Lana. It's not. The font isn't real thick. Hey, Dale. I remember you. I remember. Yeah, it's real tiny. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Let's see. Blending options. Let's see. Let's try this one. Let me know which one you like better. This one, this is the one that's on there now, obviously, and then that one. You like that one? It's a little fatter. That font's a little thicker. Aaron, I know. I remember when I first started, there's a reason I use those colors, and it has nothing to do with the team up north. But I get it. Yeah, it looks a little. I agree. It looks a little bit better. That's a 4 line. The other was a 2. Lana, did you feel the earthquake over the weekend? I saw there was an earthquake in New Jersey. The blue, yeah, what's that? The WHI blue is too much. I don't know what you mean by that.
Tax season begins today. We'll have the latest at 5:30 now. Back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
At best, you're an underachiever at a local radio station.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Start the car.
Your crashed car. In local news, a spectacular car crash.
House car.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 over the weekend. We had two cars that came into contact with buildings. Both happened. Well, let me back up. Let's see. One happened, I guess, Saturday morning, Gander Road. Car crashed into a house. I think it was Saturday. That was number 4. And then sometime Saturday, early around noonish or so, a car hit the Menards in Tip City. And it just so happened that I was coming back from New Bremen, Ohio. I went up to the Bicycle of America Museum, or the Bicycle Museum of America. I heard about this place last year, and I was trying to get up there, and I just hadn't done it. But my wife had her mom in town this weekend, so that was the perfect time for me to get out of the house and went up to the museum. So it was really cool, by the way. If you ever make it up to New Bremen, check it out. It's worth the trip. A lot of really cool old bicycles. But I stopped by the Tip City Menards on the way back because somebody, Kelly, Edgehead Kelly, sent me a message and said the Menards was hit. So I stopped by and got some photos. So it was like I was on the scene reporting. Real quickly, John in Dayton. Hey, John.
Hey, Todd. How you been? It's been a while since I talked to you. You doing all right?
I'm doing okay. I'm
Good.
sick of looking at the snow.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready for March 20th. I'll tell you that. Yeah, that whole teacher thing, man, I got to tell you, I don't know if it's a sign of the times or what. And I know what you mean. You'd see and I'm talking like back in the 80s when I graduated, you'd see a teacher out. You did have a little bit of like shock.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a teacher at a restaurant and they might be having a glass of wine. But today, last I checked, you have to be 21 years old to be able to drink alcohol, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
I'm pretty sure that's still a law.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. 100%.
What the heck are you thinking?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I don't understand. I can understand one teacher having a lapse in judgment. Everybody makes mistakes and everybody does stupid things. But we're talking a house party full of 100 kids and the principal is involved. Yeah. That's what I don't get. It's like, what were you thinking? And it just makes me feel like there was something else going on that was nefarious. John, nefarious.
Back in our day, you were supposed to lead by example, be a role model. I don't know what's happened, but
it's really weird.
Anyway, that's all I had.
Thanks, John. Appreciate your call, buddy. Have a good one. That line's open, 937-457-1290. Somebody sent me a Cheez-It sign. Well, it was a post about Cheez-Its being no longer allowed in the cafeteria. I have a question.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper.
It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize.
You'll see. He'll grow on you. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Okay, so you didn't feel the earthquake. Okay. Ron, I did see, and there's pictures on my Facebook. There was it's a replica of one of the bikes, like I think it was 1817, maybe. I forget what it's called, but there's a picture of it. It was a wooden bike. And it was like a coaster. Like all you did was you sit on it and you'd use your feet to kind of push your way along. And then you could coast down hills or you could coast a little bit. But of course, it didn't have rubber tires or anything like that. No gearing, no pedal. But there's a picture of it. Also, there were a couple of Harley Davidson bicycles. And I took pictures of them. They're all on my Facebook page. You can see them. Whoosh. I don't know. I'm going to ask the question. Here it is. I printed it out. I guess it's possible that this could be a joke, but I can't, I don't know where it happened. Not as wide. I don't know what you mean by not as wide. I need to have something that kind of goes across the screen, don't I? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Make the new logo banner not as wide. Do you mean, Lana, do you mean so it doesn't reach across, like from one side of the screen to the other? Top to bottom wide? Oh, Dale, I throw paper wads at the trash can where the little backboard is. See that little backboard? And we keep track of how many I make. Tall. Maybe that's what she means. Tall. Let me see. Hang on. Let's try it. Let's see. Okay. Like that? You see more of me in the microphone. Like that? Okay. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I know that here's the thing, not everybody's screen is as big as the one that I'm looking at. Some of you are probably watching on your phones. So maybe that does sort of make the a bigger, fatter, taller logo maybe inhibits the screen or crushes some of the screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the other ones. Just keep this one. Good suggestions. Good suggestions. Any lower, you're going to see my moobs.
Alert.
Thank you.
$1,000 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Don't hesitate to call.
You call me?
You better call me.
Damn it, get me a phone. Call me on my radio.
I'm gonna call you.
You got him on the radio?
You won't make a simple phone call?
What is wrong with you? It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. I mentioned the Bicycle Museum of America that I went up to visit up in New Bremen on Saturday. And a couple of people on the live stream were asking me if I saw any wooden bikes or Harley Davidson bicycles. I did, and I took about 100 pictures. And they're all up on my Facebook page. So if you want to check it out, you can go there and see what's there. Also, I need to give a shout out to my buddy Tim and the good folks at the Villa Tavern and Pizza. I was also there on Saturday. I stopped by on my way back. And he just sent me a message that they have sold the 300th Cheez-It pizza. 300 Cheez-It pizzas have been sold and consumed there at the Villa Tavern. Now, remember a couple of years ago when we were trying to get the statue over at the Carillon Historical Park, Tim said, hey, we could create a Cheez-It pizza. And I asked, does anybody make Cheez-It pizza? No, we couldn't find anybody. And Tim called in and said, hey, we'll do it. 100%. So they started putting Cheez-Its on top of a pizza, and they've sold 300. So here's this question. I got this from Edgehead James over the weekend. He sent me this post, and it's a photograph of a printout sign. And I don't know where this was at. I don't know if it was at a business. I don't know if it was at a school. But here's what it says. Due to the incident on November 14th, Cheez-Its are no longer allowed in the cafeteria. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, it doesn't say management, so I don't know if it's a business or school. I have no idea. And honestly, I don't even know if this is local. But I asked the question, and it got very creative and very entertaining on my Facebook. What's the story behind this? Let's build a story. Let's come up with something creative. Like, what, in your mind, what would lead to somebody posting this picture, the sign saying Cheez-Its are no longer allowed in the cafeteria after the incident on November 14th? What happened on November 14th? I think we could come up with a good idea, or a couple of good ideas, or good stories. 937-457-1290. Mike in Beaver Creek. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. I drove for myself potato chip tractor trailer for my whole career, and I retired in 19. And I used to go deliver to Fort Wayne. I went by this one house, and it had a bullseye painted on the house. The road came to a stop sign to a T.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It has a tragic ending, but I talked to the distributor I delivered to, and he said that after many complaints, had been hit numerous times to the city. The city did nothing. And then eventually a car crashed into the house with a bullseye, and his wife was in bed, and it actually killed her.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Did they not put any, like, guardrails or anything up?
You know, it's back in the 90s, Todd. I can't remember, but they just kept blowing him off, you know.
Yeah.
Typical city, state, federal government, you know.
Well, they're up in Springfield, and I forget the name of the cemetery and what street it's on, but somewhere in Springfield, there is a cemetery that is sort of kind of in that same sort of situation, right? It's right at it's at a T, a T intersection. And from time to time, and I guess it happens quite a bit, the cemetery gets hit. Somebody goes right through the fence and hits, headstones, the whole deal. And I don't know if they can do anything about it. I don't know if they can put up guardrails. I mean, because let's be honest, guardrails are fine. But if you're booking and you're going 55 and you hit a guardrail head on, straight, it's probably not going to stop you. You're going to keep going. It may slow you down, but I don't think it's going to stop you.
Well, you're a local Beaver Creek guy, and you remember the cemetery. It's still there, obviously, but it had the concrete wall there at the Indian Ripple in Fairfield.
Yeah. Yep.
And that guy, the Raleigh Sport Camaro, like 68 or 69, had the hidden headlights with louvers. He committed suicide, had his wife and his daughter in the car.
Oh, no.
He hit that wall so hard. You came to that wall, and at night with your headlights, you could make out the grill of that Camaro.
Oh, wow. I remember before they changed the road, because, they changed, Indian Ripple. They kind of moved it around a bit. So, but anyway, all right, Mike, I appreciate your call, buddy. Have a great one. That line's open, 937-457-1290. I saw this story today. This has to do with a father who was reprimanding his son, his 10-year-old kid, for not completing his homework. Now, this, I'll tell you, this happened in China. All right? It happened in China. It didn't happen here, but it could easily happen here. 100%. In fact, I would think that it would happen here. It's more likely than in China. 10-year-old boy reprimanded by his father for not completing his homework, took revenge on his dad by calling the police and telling them that he was hiding forbidden drugs. The 10-year-old reportedly, after being reprimanded for not doing his homework, stormed out of the house and went straight to a nearby store and asked if he could use the phone. The story says the fifth grader dialed 110, which is, I guess, their equivalent of 911, and asked to speak to the police, claiming that he had proof that his father was concealing poppy shells, which I guess is sort of like, it has something to do with heroin, poppy seeds, that kind of thing. It's considered an illegal drug, and this father was apparently concealing them in their home. So cops show up at the store, and the boy leads them to their house, and they conducted a search. During the search, the police found 8 dried poppy shells on the balcony of the boy's home. And the father admitted to buying them. He did say, though, he was only going to use them for medicinal purposes, in air quotes, medicinal. He expressed regret about breaking the law, but Dad and the poppy seeds were taken to a nearby police station and later, I guess, released pending trial. No word on what happened to the 10-year-old boy after Dad got home. That's had to have happened here. I'm almost certain of it. In fact, I feel like there was a story we did not long ago where, and I don't know if it was drugs. It might have been some mom, probably in Florida, went out drinking, went to a bar with a friend or something and left her little ones at home, and they somehow managed to call the police and said, "Hey, my mom's out drinking. Come get us. We need you." But yeah, that's I mean, I give the kid credit. He should have done his homework, obviously. But hey, if you're going to pull that and you're going to let your kid know about it, I guess that's kind of on you. Let's talk to Charlotte in Springfield. Hey, Charlotte.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, I'm from Springfield.
Mm-hmm. We've established
talking
that.
about the cemetery. It's Ferncliff.
Oh, Ferncliff.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a curve there.
Yeah.
And they're going probably 30 miles an hour. And they run down that fence practically every week. So there is also a Facebook page about Ferncliff.
Where people post pictures of the fence being hit.
Yeah.
A little bit like cars crashing into buildings.
Yep.
It's kind of maybe we should add that to our list.
There you go.
Yeah, we should keep track of the cars crashing into the buildings and how many times the Ferncliff fence gets run over.
That's correct. It's a good subject in Springfield.
Yeah. Now, where exactly is I'm kind of familiar with Springfield, but I'm not. Where is it exactly?
Do you know where the Myers and Bechtel Avenue, all that is?
Yeah.
Okay. On Route 41, if you take it into town, so you're going east, you'll run right into it. Be on your right.
You'll literally run into it.
It's on your right.
Okay.
It's a huge cemetery.
All right. Well, next time I'm up in Springfield, I'll check it out.
All right. Thanks
All right.
so much.
Thanks, Charlotte. Appreciate it. Dan in Springfield knows something about the cemetery. Hey, Dan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. I was just going to comment also on the cemetery in Springfield. I live just down the street from it, and the street has like an incline and then two little curves into it, and that is Ferncliff Cemetery. And right now it's been hit like 4 times in the last week or so.
Wow. Is it where it's located? Is it maybe leading away from the bar district? I mean, are people driving home drunk and missing it, or is it just treacherous?
There has been a lot of alcoholics that have hit it.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is that it's on a corner and there's great big tall trees around it. So at nighttime it's super, it's super dark, and it's on a corner and it's on an incline at the same thing. So any inclement weather, people always run into it. Last year, it probably got hit 50 times.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
As a matter of fact, they took all the fence down the beginning of this year and put brand new fence up. It hasn't even been up maybe a month or two, and it's been hit 4 times already this week.
Now, how close to the headstones is the fence? I mean, like, how close are they hitting headstones too, or are they just hitting the fence?
No, on the inside of the cemetery, from the street to the fence, then there's another street on the inside of the cemetery, and then the headstones are on that side of the street. So you're talking about 75, maybe 100 feet to the headstones.
Okay, so maybe that's happened in the past, but usually it's just the fence that gets toppled.
Yeah, it's almost always.
Well, at least that's.
As a matter of fact, my spouse works in Urbana, Ohio, and they have a fence exactly like the same setup. One of those S turns, and the black fence. So Urbana took their fence just completely down.
Huh. Well, I guess that makes sense. I get it. All right, Dan, appreciate the info. 937-457-1290. We've got some robot news, and it may be this, and it's just an idea. This could be the solution for our drone problem. It has to do with a robot dog with missiles.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Oh, Safety Steve, thank you. Oh, I'm going to mention that. Woo. I did make, I'm sorry, Leslie. Yep. I forgot to hit the camera, but yes, I did 100%. I promise. I'd love to know what high school. Dee, 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 dee. Dana, thank you for that.
Live from the McAfee Heating, Air, and Plumbing Studios. Breathe easy. Choose McAfee. Call today or visit mcair.com. This is WHIO Dayton and WHIO FM Pleasant Hill. All news, all the time.
VA deals with DE&I. We'll have the latest at 6. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
From a psychological standpoint, the radio station represents a link to normalcy.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. We were just talking about the Ferncliff cemetery fence that keeps getting hit up in Springfield. And Edgehead Dana watching the live stream. There is a Facebook page. It's called the Ferncliff Fence page. And somebody is writing and posting from the perspective of the fence. So it's like the fence is doing its own post, which is kind of nice. I guess you could call that a fence post. Okay. We have some robot news. So there is a video I posted on my Facebook page you might want to check out. It's been going around. Maybe you've already seen it. It's a robot dog that is equipped with, in this case, it's just fireworks, like little bottle rockets. And this is just for demonstration purposes. It engages a drone that also has fireworks on it. So they're going back and forth. It's like a battle between the robot dog and the drone. And I saw that. It's only about 10 seconds, but it's kind of amusing to watch, right? But I got thinking, they use dogs to chase away geese, right? We've been having these issues with drones. What if we could equip these robot dogs with some sort of laser and they could go after the drones? That could work. Or we could get that flame-throwing robot dog that's made right here in Ohio. That'd be kind of cool. But maybe we could use robot dogs to go after the drones. Just a thought. You just need to check out the video, though. It's kind of amusing.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I'll be right back. I have to run down to the printer. Hmm. Mm-mm. Mm.
News in less than 15 minutes and immediately when it breaks. I'm Ron Otto, 1290 at 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
This is a WHIO payroll payout alert.
Thank you, thank you.
$1,000 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Can I turn on your radio?
Yes, already.
It's almost showtime.
Who's your favorite talk radio personality?
That's Todd. He's weird.
Monday through Friday.
He's strange. 5 to 7. Sloppy.
I mean, he sounds perfect.
He's dreamy.
What do you say? Let's get it going.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Everyone thinks I'm a dummy, but I don't care if they say that. They're just dumb and crossy and poo-poo.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, live stream up and rolling on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch the show while you listen. It's almost like a TV show. And we have a brand new logo up there tonight. Very, very exciting. Our telephone number is 937-457-1290. A little bit later this hour, I'm going to have a guest scheduled to appear. William Hack Taylor. Now, who is that guy? Who's that guy? Well, he is the Associate Convention Director for Ohayocon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ohayocon. It's a anime, gaming, and pop culture event that's happening at the Dayton Convention Center this weekend. So he's going to be calling the show sometime after 6:30. I'm curious to know. I've never been to like an anime festival or gaming or anything like that. Might be kind of cool. So he's going to call the show. 937-457-1290 is the number. So there's a story on WHIO.com today, and it's a Wallet Hub survey. And this is about the top states to raise a family. So, you know, I was thinking, it's like, well, I don't know any different. Like I grew up here. I was raised here, you know, and I raised my family here. I still live here. And I'm not talking about Dayton. I'm talking about the state of Ohio. So I really have nothing to compare it to. And I would imagine that there are many people listening who are in my boat. But we have so many people coming into our community because of the Air Force Base and the universities and all of the industries that support all of those things. I'd be curious to get your take on this. You know, if you've been here for a while and you've got your family here, how does it compare to where you lived before? Because out of 50 states, Ohio finished 24th. We're like fair to Midland. We're right in the middle. Not great, but not bad, right? We're right in the middle. We did rank 13th in the nation for family fun, which I suppose, I mean, we got some amusement parks, right? We got a lot of parks in general. We have a lot of college sports. I guess that counts as family fun. Also 13th for affordability. However, we ranked near the bottom when it comes to socioeconomics. 43rd. I think yeah. Also 33 for education and childcare, and 23rd for health and safety. The best states for families, Massachusetts, followed by Minnesota, North Dakota, Nebraska, and New Hampshire. And on the other end, because we all like to know who's the worst, New Mexico was ranked the worst state for families, followed by Mississippi, West Virginia, Nevada, and Oklahoma. Those were the worst 5 states for families. So I'd be curious if you moved here to Ohio, Dayton area, from somewhere else, and you've got your family in tow. How do you feel about that? I mean, do you feel like Ohio is a great place to raise your family, or do you feel stuck here? You came here for a job, and that's just where we are. Can't do anything about it for now. They ranked the 50 states through 50 key indicators, including family friendliness, median annual family income, affordability, school quality, entertainment, all those things that I mentioned. But I'd like to get a outsider's perspective, because again, for those of us who were raised here or raise our family here, and we've been doing it, the entire time, we don't really have anything to compare it to. I mean, there's certainly some places where I'd be like, well, I wouldn't want to raise a family there. I would not want to raise a family in Southern California. As much as the allure of the entertainment industry exists, which, I'm in the entertainment industry, and, I always had dreams like many people. Oh, I'd love to, do something. I would not want to raise my family out there. I don't know that I'd want to raise my family in California anywhere. And not for any political reason, just it's too many people. There's it's crazy. I've been there. But the whole state isn't like Los Angeles or San Francisco. There's some lovely areas, but I'm just curious what your take is. If you've moved here and you're raising your family now, what's your take? 937-457-1290. So last hour I had a story. This was sent to me by Edgehead James. It's a sign that someone snapped a photo of. It says, due to the incident on November 14th, Cheez-Its are no longer allowed in the cafeteria. Thank you for your cooperation. And, I thought we could have some fun and trying to come up with a story behind why that sign was put up. And I posted this over the weekend on my Facebook, and there were a lot of great stories, a lot of great suggestions, very creative. It's just something fun to do, right? I mean, that's what the show is. It's just fun. But Edgehead Steven sent me a message or a post on the live stream tonight. It says, hey, Todd, this is Safety Steve with the real story on the Cheez-Its thing. And I'm taking Steven at his word, okay? A local high school that will rename anonymous, apparently their debate team was arguing about what type of Cheez-Its was the best. Was it the original Cheez-It, or was it one of the new Grooves Cheez-Its? Well, apparently the debate got kind of ugly. It got heated, and teachers had to come in and break up two groups that were, I guess, fighting over which Cheez-Its were better, the original or the Grooves. Steven says later on it erupted again in the lunchroom, and it was a full-scale brawl. Apparently several people's glasses were broken. It had to be taped in the middle to keep them together. That's not how you debate. I'm not sure what school this is. I would love to know. But it's got to be, I mean, if he's local, I'd like to know. I'd like to know which debate team resorted to fisticuffs to fight over Cheez-Its. I mean, I get it. I'd fight over Cheez-Its. I thought it was like maybe a food fight. Like somebody got into a food fight, because this, it happens from time to time at schools. And Cheez-Its, they're small, they're pointy, right? They're squares, and they could be sharp. Yeah, right. Bryn, my producer, exactly. They little Cheez-It throwing stars. You could put somebody's eye out. I thought that's what it was. But no, it was I guess it was an argument over which was better. Maybe you know, 937-457-1290, which school that was. And then I got this message. This was from Edgehead Clinton. He shared this with me, and I don't know if this was a local person who asked this question on Facebook, but I thought this was also kind of interesting. Please settle a debate that I guess her significant other and she are having. Of the two sections of a grocery cart, one being where a baby sits or a small child, and the other being where you put the groceries, which do you consider the front of the cart and which do you consider the back? And she says, like, if you were to say, put that in the front of the cart or put it in the back of the cart, like, and I saw that and I thought, wait, that's kind of a good point. Which part of the cart is the front and which part is the back? Because if you think about it like a car, right? You're sitting forward, like the little kid is sitting in the cart, is facing forward. You would think that would be the front of the cart, and that's where you push the cart, right? But you're pushing the back part forward. So wouldn't that be the front of the cart? See, very, very interesting question, a dilemma. Maybe there's an answer. The front of the cart, the back of the cart. I remember when I was a kid and my mom would take me to the grocery store, I would sit underneath the basket. Now, and you might be thinking, how does anyone do that? Well, and I think it was Kroger. It might have also been LaFino's. LaFino's, grocery store that was in Beaver Creek, 2 locations for a very, very long time. It's closed now. But the carts that they had were not like the standard grocery cart with, like you have at Walmart. It had a cart, like a basket and everything, but there was probably 2 or 3, I don't know about 3 feet, but maybe like 2.5 feet between the bottom of the cart where you put all your junk and the bottom underneath where you could put gigantic bags of dog food, right? Or salt for your softener. But sometimes I would sit underneath there because my sister would sit, again, in the cart seat, whether it's the front or the back. We haven't determined that yet. But I would sit underneath. And that was always a lot of fun. So maybe you know the answer. Give us a call.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Did you all see that? It bounced off the back rim of the blue basket and then bounced forward into the small basket. I can't believe that. Oh my gosh. Did it again! Off the rim into the front basket. Oy. I know. It's 2 in a row that did. Oh, man. When is your next for dinner show? I don't know what you mean. Oh, gotcha. I haven't started that yet. It's a good idea. I just haven't gotten to that. Other things I'm working on right now, but maybe one day I'll get to it.
Warmer temperatures are coming for the week. We'll have the latest at 7 o'clock. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst at 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
And now for our devoted listeners.
Back to the show.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Coming up after 6:30, scheduled to appear, William Hack Taylor. He's the Associate Convention Director for Ohayocon. It's spelled funny on their website. It's Ohayyocon. I thought that was Ohayocon, but I looked at one of their videos. They call it Ohayocon, so we'll find out what's going on with that. It's going to be here this weekend. 937-457-1290. Andy in Tip City. What's going on, Andy?
So, Todd, I called it originally about the Cheez-It debate, but the grocery cart argument, there's only one obvious solution. When you think about grocery getters, it's station wagons, right? Station wagons are rear-wheel drive, and the kids face backwards. So the back is where the handle is, the front's where you drive.
Okay, so, all right. So that makes sense. That's the back of the cart.
Right, because the kids are facing the wrong way. The propulsion is the rear-wheel drive, the mom or dad pushing. So it's just like a station wagon. Now, the Cheez-It debate, where I'm happy the kids are passionate and talking about something so important.
Right.
But, if you're going to go off the orange standard original, the only real choice is the extra toasty.
Well, I agree. I love the extra toasty. Bryn, my producer tonight, shaking her head. She's ready to throw down like those kids at the high school. I just want to know, like, this debate team, what sort of debate lessons are they learning if a argument or a disagreement over Cheez-It turns into a brawl? I mean, that's crazy, right?
I'm just glad to see young people passionate about something.
I suppose, even if it is little orange crackers, whatever.
Exactly.
All right, man. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it. That could go down in the annals of history of some sort of Cheez-It fight, Cheez-It mash. I don't know what we could call it.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
The Cheez-It Wars. Well, Captain Scurvy, I know that they sell Cheez-Its in the gift shop there, but I like the idea of a Cheez-It vending machine.
Roll payout alert.
Thank you, thank you.
$1,000 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Don't give me that politics, Jazz. It's not my racket.
People are tired of hearing nothing but doom and despair on the radio.
Everyone just relax, all right?
The problems of the world are not in my department.
Now who'd like a cookie?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up and rolling on Facebook and YouTube. Coming to the Dayton Convention Center this weekend, starts Friday, goes through Sunday. It's Ohayocon. And this is kind of cool because this is their 25th year. But this is, I think, the first time that they're doing it in Dayton. They moved it, I believe, from Columbus to Dayton, which is great. That's awesome. And we have a guest on from Ohayocon. It's William Hack Taylor. Hey, should I call you Hack? Can I call you Hack?
Yeah, you can call me Hack.
Awesome. Now, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's busy. We got a lot to prep for the weekend.
Yeah. So, I remember seeing in the local media, probably, I don't know, sometime late last summer, I think, that you guys were going to be coming to Dayton to do this event in 25 years. Had it always been wasn't it in Columbus and now it's here?
Yeah, it was originally in Columbus. And after some conversations that we had with investors and the owner,
right,
led to us making a decision, looking at conventions around the area, how everybody was going with less and less. We were kind of downsizing, playing it safe, and we decided that looking at Dayton, it had the best value for not only for the show itself, but also for the attendees. We can hit all the marks to where we can provide, a good price for the attendees that are coming, as well as good content. We've got a bunch of guests. We've got voice actors, voice actresses from various different anime shows.
So let me get into that just before you go any further, Hack. Because I got to be honest with you, I wasn't super familiar with Ohayocon. I've never been to an anime or gaming event, I know about them, but I don't know what do you expect when you go to something like this, because I'm sure there are people listening to the show that have no idea what it is. So could you kind of give us a sort of a breakdown of it all?
Absolutely. On the surface, like you said, it's an anime convention, but it's definitely a lot more than that. It comes in a culmination of everybody that's also volunteering and helping putting things on. We've got people that work with gaming, tabletop, video games, card games, and that's their livelihood. And they thought, hey, might be a good idea to bring this. So we bring that on. We talk to a bunch of guests in the industry, so that way people can meet guests that they want to see in relation to up and coming shows, popular shows, as well as we have a vendors hall and an artist alley. So you've got those independent artists pushing their own artwork, getting their name out there to get that notoriety, as well as, you can find the swag that you've been looking for. If you're looking for a figure, if you're looking for artwork, we've even got a couple sword vendors if you want to go into that realm. We've got a little bit of everything. It's not, while at the surface it's an anime convention, it's something that you can just get that intimate experience with your guests while getting the swag that relates to the show, and then getting it signed and have that piece of memorabilia.
So you could go down to the convention center this weekend and pick up a sword.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, do people dress up and their favorite characters and come to this?
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. There's a bunch of cosplayers that, we have as guests that, host panels that talk about making costumes and doing it smart and cost efficient.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not required. You can show up in normal street clothes. I typically wear street clothes, except on Saturday I might be sporting a kilt, spice it up a little bit.
Is that a
but yeah, no,
character?
cosplay-
Is that because of a character, or is that you just enjoy wearing the kilt?
I just enjoy wearing a kilt.
Okay. Well, I have a
friend
kilt.
who's
I get it. I get it.
My friend who's the convention director, he got me turned on to the kilt scene a little while back.
The kilt scene. I like.
Yeah, I got a couple of them in my inventory.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you wear your kilt, you need to go down to the Dublin pub, which is downtown, just down the street from the convention center. That's the big Irish pub in town. And I promise you, you walk in there with the kilt, you're going to be one of the most popular guys in there that night.
I try to be.
Well, you will be. I promise you. I promise you. All right. Well, so this is kind of interesting. So over the 25 years that this has been going on, how long have you been involved with them?
I've been involved with them for a few years now. I actually started off as a vendor selling those swords.
Okay.
But I've been working conventions for about 17 years now, and there's a few people that work Ohayocon that I have very close relationships with. And when my friend decided to take the role of the convention director position, he looked around and he asked for my assistance, and he said, "I can't put you anywhere else, but right at my side. I need you to be my assistant director." So I was like, "Okay,
right,
sure."
Yeah. So do people come from this? I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of regional people that come. I mean, are people coming from all over the country, all over the world? Is this, how does this rate in comparison to other anime conventions out there?
It gets a pretty diverse crowd. I think the word has gotten out there for long enough, especially considering it's been going on for 25 years.
Right.
I mean, me personally, I live in the Chicagoland area. So Thursday morning at 5 a.m., I'll be taking the drive out to get everything started, get everything set up for the event, as well as the convention director. He's also from the Chicagoland area. There's some people from Michigan, and these are just volunteers. That's not even including attendees. I think from the years that I've worked, there have been a few people that I've talked to, and they go, "Oh, well, I have to fly." When I'm selling swords, "Oh, I have to fly home." I'm like, "Oh, well, you can ship it or check it with your bag." And I'm like, "Where are you flying?" And they say, "Oh, I'm going back home to, London or whatever." And it's like, yeah, no, you can totally bring this home if you choose to do so. But we get people from all walks of life, all areas.
Right. Now, do you guys do this in other locations throughout the country, and this stop just happens to be here in Ohio and specifically Dayton, or how does that work?
No. Ohayocon is local to the Ohio area. It's not a circuit. It doesn't run all over. It stays there.
Ah, sweet. Well, that's kind of cool. What are some of your fond memories of Ohayocon? By the way, I just have to tell, when I wasn't familiar, like I said, I thought it was Ohayocon because
no, it's actually a play on the term Ohio, which is Japanese hello.
Ah, gotcha. See, I didn't know. I was trying to figure out why you just didn't go with Ohayocon, but now it makes sense. It makes all this. You guys are clever. Heck, you guys are clever.
We try to be.
Yeah. So if you're interested, you can go to
Ohayocon.online.
Yeah, let me spell it though, just for OHAYOCON.online.com. So I was going to ask you, go ahead. Sorry.
No .com. It's just Ohayocon.online.
Oh, gotcha. All right, cool. So you were gonna answer my question, over those 25 years, what sort of cool things that you recall, or since you've been involved.
Yeah, honestly, it's the camaraderie that I've had with the staff. Every interaction I've had with them has been second to none in terms of respect, politeness. Everybody I've dealt with, it's a kinship. While I haven't been volunteering with them as long as some of the others, there's no outside. You're never on the outside. You're always on the inside. You're always family.
Right.
And
yeah.
It starts the moment that you say hi to someone, or the moment you say yes to signing up to volunteer, like you're in. There's no, you've got to earn your keep. You're in with the crowd.
That's cool. That's cool. And
Mhm.
I bet you guys know how to party.
I've dabbled.
Yeah, no, I just meant,
Yeah.
I was just thinking, because I see videos from time to time on social media of like cosplay conventions. And since, like you said, many people come and they dress up and they enjoy sort of that fantasy / escapism or whatever.
Right.
I would imagine you can have a real good time. And that's what's going to be happening in Dayton this weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, me personally, I've been talking to a few friends. I've gotten a little bit more refined in my age, and I've made a mixture of a s'mores old fashioned, and I've been hyping it up with a couple close people, and
Wow.
we'll share a drink and enjoy our time.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. All right. So it's happening, starts on Friday. What time does it start on Friday?
Starts on Friday. I mean, we're going to be open as far as registration is as early as around, I want to say 9 a.m.
Okay.
where you can get your badge. I mean, Thursday starting at 7 p.m. is when registration opens for will call. So if you've pre-regged on our website, you can show up Thursday, get your badge so you don't have to worry and wait in line. You can just go right into the show. Typically, the show starts around 3. We've got opening ceremonies around 4. And there's going to be stuff at the Dayton Convention Center as well as the Marriott for Dayton University.
Oh, it's right.
There's
It's right
gonna-
behind our building. It's like 100 yards from our building.
Well, you should come on out. We're gonna have video gaming, tabletop, card games. There's gonna be panels, and then in the evening we've got a roast for one of the guests, John Swayze. We're a bunch of other guests in the industry are gonna take a couple jabs at him.
Right. Now,
Good fun.
who is John Swayze? Who is that guy?
John Swayze.
Oh,
He's a voice actor. He was the voice for, if I remember correctly, All for One from a show called My Hero Academia.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, once again, if you want details on this, you could check it out. Take your family, take your kids. ohayocon.online.
That's correct.
All right. Well, William Hack Taylor, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it. It sounds like it's going to be a nice, fun weekend for everybody coming into Dayton. How many people do you expect?
We're probably expecting a couple thousand, maybe more.
Wow.
We're prepared for everything and anything. Big crowd, small crowd, doesn't matter. We're going to be prepared for it.
So if this all goes well, as it, I'm sure it will, you guys will want to come back, right?
Yeah, we would love to continue the relationship that we're getting with Dayton.
See?
Everybody's been super nice with us.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, and hope to run into you this weekend.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care. There you go, folks. That is Ohayocon right here, the convention center and the Dayton Marriott. I guess be on the lookout for cosplayers running down 5th Street in the Oregon District.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper.
It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Hey. All right, here we go. No short show tomorrow. Yeah, Ron's right. The game's at 8, so pregame starts at 7. So there'll be a full show tomorrow. Friday, there is a short show. Friday's show starts, or the game starts at 7. So I'm only on 5 to 6.
Plumbing Studios. Breathe easy. Choose McAfee. Call today or visit mcair.com. This is WHIO Dayton and WHIO FM Pleasant Hill. All news, all the time.
The president signs a series of orders for the Defense Department. Well, the latest at 6:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
You ain't gonna want to miss this.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Just a couple of moments left. We got Mike in Riverside has a comment about grocery carts. Hey, Mike, what's up, man?
Hey, Todd, love your show.
Oh, thank you.
My jackpot coffee mug in my hand.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Now, on the grocery cart,
Yes.
the front end is tapered, just like your car.
Okay.
The front of the basket has usually plastic bumpers on it.
Okay. That makes sense.
And the front wheels are the actual steering wheels because they will move to the right and to the left. The rear wheels are stationary.
So that means that's the front of the cart.
That's the front of the cart.
See, I feel like that makes all the
was
sense.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, the kid's facing the back. Well, you get them in a car seat. What do? They face the back.
That's correct. Yeah. That
So
makes all the sense.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we have come to an agreement on this debate. Which end of the cart is the front or back?
Well, yeah, this is a little debate that we didn't have to go to fisticuffs, but
Right. Like the Cheez-It, the debate team, wherever school that was here in the Miami Valley, throwing it down over cheese.
Yeah, they need a plaque down at the Carillon Park next to that statue that says, we are really serious about our Cheez-Its in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah. And commemorate the Great Cheez-It War of the Miami Valley. Yeah.
Have a great one, sir.
Thanks, Mike. Take care. Well, there you go, folks. That's the show. You can get the podcast at eveningedgetodd.com and all your other favorite podcast platforms, except for Spotify because they kicked me off. Bastards. And you can also go back and watch the live stream on Facebook and YouTube and check out the brand new graphics. Very exciting. Have a terrific night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow just after 5. People asked, is it a short show tomorrow night because UD plays? No, their tip-off is at 8, so we have a full show tomorrow night, 5 to 7. So have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
And that's how she wrote.
I got nothing left.
Why don't you just call it a night? I'm saying it's over, superstar.
That's it, guys. We're all fried.
You guys have a good night.
Unplug everything, wrap it up. Let's go home.
Adios, amigo.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Hey, it's going to get warmer this weekend or this week. I'm excited for that. Have a good one.